Hi, and welcome back this week. I'm so excited to have my great friend Meg Ellis with me live. If you look below, you can see the links to some of the podcasts that we've done before on Sexually Woke with me, now called Empowering Midlife Wellness. But Meg is a life coach. She actually specializes in mindset coaching, which is exactly what we're going to talk about today.
And I'm so excited to be doing this with you again.
Yes, it's so good to be here
I know.
in person. And
I
we're
know.
both COVID negative, so we can sit close together, which is really fun. Mm-hmm. So last time we were talking about this new weight loss program that we have at Complete Midlife Wellness Center, and one of the pillars of success is mindset. So some of the more obvious things like nutrition, movement, this is medically managed, so we're also checking your hormones, medication. Those are all really important, but I wanted to put mindset first. Because, when you're changing a habit, this is a big deal. When we're trying to complete a weight loss goal or really any other habit, if you don't have your mindset right, it's going to fail, right, from the beginning. And we've talked about that before.
Right. You're exactly right. Mindset is key. Mindset is everything. Habits are formed from thoughts, right? Our every habit that you have, every pattern that you have, this is actually, yes, it might resonate in a physical form or, how you eat, how you work out, all those things, but everything originates from your mind. It's a thought pattern.
That's true.
And mindset is key, and I've been doing mindset coaching for a while now, and I still go back to the original phrase of change your life, change your mind first, right? Change your mind, change your life.
Yeah, so this is why we're doing the mindset section first, because really I could talk to you all day about nutrition, movement, medications. If you don't have your mind in the right place, this 12-week program is not going to succeed. So Meg's a mindset coach, as she said. She has her own company here in Houston called Phoenix 8 Consulting. We'll put the links below so you can reach out to her and have this consult live if you want to.
Yes, I would love to work with anybody because really mindset is so key. And you were telling me about your program, which I think is a wonderful program, all the components of it. And it's 90 days, which is, it sounds like a lot. But I guarantee you I have a 90-day program myself just around mindset, and it goes by a lot quicker than you think, right? Going into something, it can be daunting and, oh my gosh, 3 months of my life, what am I going to do, And going into it with a strong mindset from the get-go is going to be imperative, right? And if you think about it, and I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with the law of attraction, but that's what I do most of my coaching off of. And it's basically like what a like attracts like, right? Energy flows where your attention goes. So that's a basic building block of the law of attraction. So whatever you focus on, you get more of. So that's why it's so important to set the mindset up for success first. And if you think about it, right, we've all made our decisions a month ago, 2 months ago, a year ago. And now we are living the result of those habits, those patterns, those thoughts, those actions, right? And so we are the product of our past thoughts. So if you, in this moment, you are in the present moment now, but it's about to be the past for this program, right? A month into this program, 2 months into this program, you're going to look back at where you are now, and you are going to live the result of what you're thinking right now. So set yourself up for success and create that mindset that you need now. It's the biggest thing.
That's so true. And that might sound confusing, but 3 months is going to roll around regardless of what we do. Isn't that true? I mean, time is going to pass.
Time's going to move.
So 3 months from now, I kind of think about where do I want to be 3 months from now? And one of the things that you've taught me is about creating a vision for where you want to be. Rather than using the term goal, I think that sounds sort of a little bit too constricted, but a vision sounds...
I know, it sounds
more
nice
open.
And free, yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you think about it, everybody can have a goal. It's great to have goals, and I'm not telling you not to have goals.
Yeah, you might have a goal to lose 20 pounds. That's a goal. Then the vision is something different, though, isn't it?
It is. You're exactly right. Goals are great, and you do need to have little goals. You can have big goals, too. But the number one thing is when I see people come to me with goals, They need to be rooted in something. What are your goals rooted in? Because yes, 90 days is going to go by really quickly, but there are going to be some hard times where you're going to be tempted to go off the nutrition plan. You're not going to want to move. Things might come up, right? You're going to have to say no to some things. You're going to have to say yes to some other things. And it's very easy to get deterred off of a plan, right? And that's why I'm so glad that you have Dr. Susan to help you and a community of people who are all doing this together, because surrounding yourself with people who are going to help you, right? That is huge. But help you do what? Not just achieve your goals, but help you create the vision for yourself. Your goals have to be connected to a vision. So what I would encourage you to do is see yourself in 3 months at the end of this program, and really connect to the vision of that. What does that person look like, right? What does that person feel like? And create this vision. What does that person do? What are they listening to? Who are they surrounding themselves with? What are their habits? What are their hobbies? And you start to create that vision and you connect to that person, because that person is you. So you have to connect to yourself. It's a lot easier to connect to yourself, even if it's yourself in the future, your future self, as I call it, than it is to a goal. So you create this vision that you have of yourself, right? And I always like to take it one step further and paint the picture of a day in the life of that vision. Right?
I love that.
Oh, it's great. I love this part. And this is where that 90 days seems so far away. It doesn't seem so far away anymore, because once you create that future self and that day of a life in your future self, you don't have to wait 90 days. Right? You can actually start to take some of those behaviors and do them now. And you can start to become that person now. And the more connected you feel to that future self in that vision, the more likely you are to stay on track with your goals, right? If future you in 3 months likes to wake up and move at 6 a.m., and that's just part of their routine, then why would we wait 3 months for that? Just start to do that now. And the more things that you see yourself doing now, it kind of goes undetected, but you really just start to become that identity. It's all about creating an identity first. And, after 90 days, it's here. And yes, we've accomplished some of our goals, but without that identity, I would not advise you to make any goals without first creating that vision.
Yeah, that's such a great idea, isn't it? I'm thinking about, what's she wearing?
Yeah.
What are people saying? How are people looking at her, your future self? What can she do now that she couldn't do before?
Right.
Some little changes that I made in my life, for example, that we have talked about before. I wanted to read more instead of watching TV. So how do you become a person I wanted to become a person who reads at night. So how do you become a person who reads at night? Well, you start reading at night.
Right.
I just started. It sounds pretty simple, but I started to read at night, and I became a person who reads at night. So now
it becomes a habit, right?
And actually, I sort of don't like watching TV at night so much anymore. I actually really enjoy reading, and I started doing it because I imagined that it was possible. It was something that I really wanted. I knew it was healthy for me. So anytime we're changing a habit, I think that's so useful. And Meg actually shared that with me. She said, well, just create that vision and start doing what that person would do. Maybe she gets up at 6:30 and does her movement.
Right. And you're going to set yourself up for success too when you know, hey, future me in this vision that I am connected to and can't wait to be, if that person moves at 6:30 in the morning, then guess what that's going to do with me now? I know that in this moment, I'm not going to stay up until 2 a.m. watching Netflix, right? If future me, I like to get up and exercise, right? Then that is all part of creating this positive habit, right? And it is hard at first. It is, but consistency is going to be the biggest thing to help you feel confident in progressing. And that's the thing.
Well, when you're doing something new, if you're successful at it, you will develop trust in yourself.
Right.
And that's another one of the podcasts that we did together, how to develop trust in yourself.
Yeah.
To me, it's by doing things and showing that you can be successful and you believe that it's possible and you do it again. But there's no way to start without just jumping in and starting.
Gotta jump in. You have to jump in. And one of my favorite quotes, I'm a big quoter, but I think it comes from the 1% rule, which is talking about getting 1% better every day, right? It's all about progress, not perfection. But in order to change your life, you have to change something in your life daily. So committing daily, and some of those days, it is going to be challenging. You are going to be tempted. You are going to want to give up. But that's why connecting to that identity, this is who I am, right? This is who I am becoming. That's who I am now, just working my way towards getting there. I don't do this. And you can even give yourself a little, I like to call it like a foundational code, if you will. Like, I don't do this.
Like, I'm a person who doesn't drink during the week or whatever it is that you've decided.
I don't drink alone, or I don't watch TV after 9 p.m., or I don't, it can be something as easy as like, I don't look at Instagram in my bed, you know, things like that. You set a code for yourself and then you abide by your code. I don't do this. This is all part of creating the identity. And after about, 21 days to make a habit, you start seeing things about 30 to 45 days into the program. You'll start to notice things in your life are going to start to change, and it's going to get significantly easier because you will have been living in this different mindset for about 30 to 45 days, and that's when you start to see the results of your previous thoughts. I know it sounds a little crazy to follow, but I promise, hang on, about 45 days in, you will really start to see a lot of progress.
Yeah, and it does make so much sense. And so mindset coaching can apply to any type of habit change. But
any habit.
For women, certainly in my office, weight loss is one of the biggest habits that we struggle with changing, especially as we get into midlife. It's almost universal. I mean, every one of us experiences it, so we're
every single
in really good company. But what are some other tips about mindset coaching that could help someone who's specifically trying to lose weight? Maybe you've tried, and probably if you're my age, you've tried and not been successful multiple times before. So we have these little voices, right, that tell us you're going to fail. Those negative voices. What do we do about those?
Those beliefs are deep rooted. And one thing I'll say is do not do this by yourself, right? You are not designed, very little things in life are we meant to do alone. So rely on others to help you. Get an accountability partner, but also surround yourself with people who whose voices are going to hype you up, right? And help you talk out those previous voices that have been long embedded in your head, right? Some of those voices are really loud and really distracting sometimes. So one thing I recommend about the voices in your head, be very cognizant about what they are saying and what they are focused on. Again, law of attraction, like attracts like. Your energy flows where your attention goes. So how many of us, and I'm totally raising my hand here with everybody too, when you look at yourself and physically, and you have a goal to lose weight or get stronger or whatever it might be, you automatically think about the things that you don't like about yourself.
It's true.
Or how many of you make goals based off of what you don't like about yourself? Right?
Yeah, it's really negative, isn't it?
It's everything stems from this. It's sneaky. It's sneaky, but it's this negative mindset that is fueling everything. What if we changed, we flipped the script here a little bit, where instead of saying, you're looking at yourself, or you're feeling down on yourself, and you are solely focused on the 5 pounds that you cannot lose, right? I need to lose 5 pounds. These last 5 pounds just won't come off, or this part of my body, or this part of my body, I don't like this, or this, or this. That is your entire mindset. Focus on something negative. And if you keep yourselves in that negative mental space, like attracts like, you will continue to attract negative energy, and that's why it's really hard to get out of that negative loop, right? It's so hard to get out of it.
Yeah, I've been in that with lots of times.
You can spiral real quick, and it's almost addictive, right? It's hard to get out of. So one thing I recommend is, it's okay, first of all, nobody's trying to be perfect here, because perfect doesn't exist, and we're not chasing things that don't exist, but you just want to feel good, right? It feels good to feel good. You're doing this to feel good. And so feel good the whole time you're doing it. I know, again, it sounds so simple, but it's going to take some work to feel good. So how do you feel good? You can love yourself while you're working on yourself at the same time.
That's a really good point.
Oh, I love that one.
That reminds me of something you told me in one of our previous podcast episodes about switching this from, perhaps you go into this habit change, and we're talking about weight loss right now, with a sort of like, oh, I have to do this. My doctor told me I was pre-diabetic, or that I was at unhealthy weight and I have to do this. And almost like an external voice telling you that this needs to be done. And we talked about this to flipping it to I choose, which I really love. And I've used that so many times since. It's like, wait a second, I don't have to do this. I can do anything. I can do anything I want to. I choose to commit to this program because I want to be healthy. I want to live a long time. I don't want to get any of those yucky diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, all the yucky stuff that can happen if we keep our body fat too high. So at that point, it's not, I'm doing this because my doctor said I had to, or because I'm afraid my husband doesn't think I'm sexy, or any external reason. It's all intrinsically motivated.
Take the responsibility of your choice. You always have a choice. You don't have to do anything. But taking responsibility means taking ownership, taking your power, right? Go into this with power. I am choosing to do this for myself. And one thing that really counteracts those negative voices is going to be a nightly habit of, you can journal, or I like affirmations. I have Post-its all over my house. Put a Post-it on the mirror and say it out loud. I love putting things out into the physical universe with a spoken word. But those habits where maybe you just write down things that you like about yourself. Write down your non-physical traits that you like, or things that your body can do. What are you grateful and proud of, and what can you celebrate your body doing, right? Because it's not just about the way we look. It's about what you can do and what you feel. So write down those things and get into that positive state, and I promise you it will not lead anywhere bad. I promise you. It just takes a little bit of training to, hey, if all I'm doing is focusing on this last 5 pounds that I can't lose, or things that I want to get rid of, or things that I don't like, it's going to keep you in this negative spiral. So you can love yourself and work on yourself at the same time. So choose to do both.
That's a really good point. And I know, because I'm one of them, some of you are feeling a resistance to ideas like journaling. And I felt like that myself. Or, when you're reading a book and it suggests that you do a certain exercise, and I would just skip past it. I'm not going to do that.
Are you speaking to me?
We all do this, by the way. But this is an opportunity to actually change that habit too, because, when I've actually sat down and said, oh, God, people have been telling me to journal for years, and I know part of me doesn't want to do it. I've got that part of me that's just resistant to it. I think that's a part of us that's resistant to change, because we know that if we start doing this, we're going to change. And there's part of us that doesn't want to change. You have a part of yourself that wants to stay exactly the way that you are, because it feels safe. Your habits are habits that you've had for so long, and it doesn't feel comfortable initially changing what we're doing as far as nutrition and movement. So just recognize that part of you is trying to keep you safe. And I think that's really sweet, just to be compassionate to that little voice that's saying, don't journal, don't do any of this. It's just scared.
Yeah, it is. It's fear. Yeah. It's fear. If it comes down to this, everything we do either stems from fear or love. So make a decision, right? You have a choice. We've established that. You have a choice. Make a choice out of love or make a choice out of fear, right? Choose love for yourself. And this is going to be a lot at once, and some people are really good, like, hey, just rip the Band-Aid off, all the changes all at once. And if that is you, kudos to you. And if that's not you, don't worry, it's fine. You can implement things slowly, right? You've got 90 days, you have your program, you have the structure, but if you are brand new to journaling, set yourself up for success. Be realistic with yourself. What is going to be the best way for you to implement a habit? And this is where a coach comes in to help, but figuring out, hey, what is the best way to set you up for success? Because everybody is different, right? No, there's not one person like anybody else. So if you've never journaled before, the best thing to do is probably not okay, I'm going to have a goal where I'm going to journal for 1 hour every single day right before I go to bed.
That's a big goal.
That's a big goal. That's a big goal. So set small, achievable goals and then grow on them, right? How about you journal for 5 minutes a day? Or, you know what, even less. Why don't you write 3 things down? The first week, write down 3 things you like about yourself daily. And then the next week, you write 3 things that you like about yourself and 3 things that you're grateful for. And then you add to it slowly, right? And then you eventually build up to, hey, oh my gosh, now my identity is I'm a journaler. Who knew?
It's really interesting that we all know, just like we know that it's healthy not to smoke and that we feel better when our body fat's below a certain percent. Everybody knows that journaling leads somewhere good. We all know this. Everyone
really
knows
does.
that gratitude practices lead somewhere good. There's no one in the world who has ever regretted a journaling practice or a gratitude practice.
I'm so mad about all the things I'm grateful
resistance, for. Right? So just recognizing that that's a part of us that doesn't want to change. I think that's really helped me. Just even sometimes I'll look at, I have the pen in my hand and I'm just looking at the book, and sometimes you just start writing like, I don't want to do this today. I don't want to. And then it just starts changing into something more positive. But just start moving and it will flow. And so just encouraging you to try that, because one of the things we talked about earlier that I think is so important before you even come in for your first visit perhaps is to start creating that vision of who you want to be in detail, like Meg said, all the details of what she's doing, what she does, what her habits are, what she's wearing.
Get to know that person, right? Get to love that person. Get excited about that person, because here's the thing is, excitement and joy and fun, that is the basis of everything, right? What is the point of doing anything if you're going to hate it the whole time, right? You don't want to do that. So find the fun in this. Find the excitement. Find the things to celebrate. You have to celebrate. You have to celebrate. Don't just be a hamster in a wheel these next 90 days. Celebrate even the smallest achievements, right? Look back and be proud. And you tie memories to habits. Oh my gosh, I celebrated doing this thing for a week and it was really fun, so I'm going to keep doing it. Right? You kind of train your brain just like you train anything else in your life. And you connect to that vision and you just get excited about it. Like, I am 90 days away from being this person.
There's something that just feels really good about doing what we know is the right thing to do. And we've talked about that before too. Because we kind of know this is the right thing to do, right? We're going to get healthy. We're going to feel better in so many different ways. We're going to live longer. We're going to be able to move more. We'll be more open to having more intimate relationships because we feel more sexy. I mean, just endless kind of exciting things can happen. So when we're doing those things that we know in our heart are the right things, we feel good. So I say this all the time. If you want to feel good, do things you feel good about.
Right.
When you eat a pint of ice cream, you don't feel good about it, right? And when you eat healthy foods and move
and fuel your body with what you need, you feel good. Do things that make you feel good about yourself. That's it. Yeah.
So we could talk about this all day. And maybe we will another time.
Maybe we will. I know we have a lot to talk about.
If you want to meet with Meg one-on-one, it's an amazing opportunity that's going fast because she's really, really busy. But you can connect with her. We'll put her link below through Phoenix 8 Consulting.
So I would love to work with you.
Talk to you about this more. It'd be really cool to do this weight loss program in conjunction with her 90-day mindset program.
I do have a 90-day mindset makeover, and it talks all about thought patterns, and it talks about creating that vision and breaking down these old beliefs so we can build up new habits and new patterns. And I do everything, Dr. Susan and I are alike in this, off of the Enneagram, which is a personality test, because like I mentioned, everybody's different. What works for you might not work for somebody else. So it's very custom, very individualized, but it would coincide really well with this.
It really would. That's a great idea. You could do both together, or you could do that first and do the second if you really don't think your mind is in a good place to start, because I want this to be the program that actually works for you.
Right.
So if you have to wait and start it in a little while, that's okay. We don't want it to be just another thing that doesn't work. So we're going to go into this with mindset first. That's why we put this talk first. So what I'm hearing, a couple of key points, or a few key points. We're going to create the vision of who we want to be at the end of this 12-week program in a lot of detail, right?
So much detail. Like the back of your hand, you know it.
And we're going to do that maybe by writing, and
Yeah.
let's just say do it. Let's just journal it, write it down, right?
Exactly.
Do some journaling.
And then pull some habits. What does that person do? Start doing them. The more you start feeling like you are becoming that person, the more you become that person.
Yeah, really love
You know?
that. Yeah, so write that list of the things that that person does. Just like I was talking about reading a book, I am a person who reads a book every night and doesn't watch TV. And that is not who I was 6 months ago. I was a person who watched TV every night and drank a glass of wine.
You created a change,
Right.
you know? It takes time.
Yeah.
It does.
For myself, that's a healthier version of myself. I'm really proud of myself. I'm happy and really excited to say that I read at least a book a month because that's something I really wanted to do. And so now, having achieved that goal and continuing to achieve it, I'm constantly feel proud of myself.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I did it. I feel
and
good.
you feel confident, right? It's consistency fuels confidence. So things that you can consistently start doing to feel good and feel proud of, eventually you turn into someone who is confident and proud, and who doesn't want that?
Yeah, we look at people sometimes, or I know I do, who like, how do they do this? Like someone who's doing something that you wish you could achieve, but really they're just acting out that vision. So
Exactly.
there's no reason why you cannot be successful. Doesn't matter
Exactly.
what those little voices are saying. Yeah. So any other little mindset pearls? I know you've got so much inside that.
There's so
amazing
much.
brain.
There's so much. But just know that it is a journey. It is a process. So give yourself grace the whole time. If you find yourself in a negative thought and you're mad at yourself for, doing something that you're not proud of, give yourself a little grace and just keep pushing, right? It really is about progress and just being committed to the best version of yourself.
Yeah, lots of self-compassion, right? Because there'll be times that it doesn't go as planned. Just give that person a hug, your old version of yourself, start over. If you're in the
and get
pantry
right
eating
back
a bag of
into
chips,
it.
that's okay.
But don't quit just because you made one mistake,
That's
right? You forgive yourself. You give yourself a big old hug. I love the word compassion, self-compassion, and you continue to move forward.
Just start over. You're allowed to start over. You can start over every day. But hopefully with this, we'll be consistent for 12 weeks. There won't be that many start overs.
Yeah,
you're going to have your mindset set.
You've got structure too, and people who are here for you to help you. So,
well, it's so good to talk to you.
Always so good.
You can find Meg's contact information below. So if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll be back talking more with Meg about some other elements of the weight loss program that she also has expertise in. I can't wait to see you next week.
Can't wait.